Well, hey, everybody that's in here so far. Jeremy, howdy, boys and girls. Goyles, I better get that right. And Kathleen, how are you? And Karen, you three are the chicken dinner winners, aren't you? Yeah, I got this today too. Everybody should have, would be my guess. I really haven't wanted to do much for the spring stuff, any eBay stuff. If they ever do eBay open again in Vegas like they used to, I would go to that. But the rest of it, nonsense. Not really. There's some good information that you can all get in there. Um, hello, April. Really looking forward to this topic. I have 2 large bins of jewelry that I inherited when my grandmother passed about a decade ago. This is one of 2 topics I am determined to learn. And it's a very good niche. I'm sorry, you guys, my eyes are killing me. How bad do they look? We'll see how long I can last. Because that's this is jewelry is a really good item to learn, because there, especially in the world where I thrift, right? I thrift estate sales. The estate sale dealers cannot know everything. They just can't. And jewelry is a spot where sometimes there's a ton of it and they get overwhelmed and they just start throwing it in little baggies and putting a price on it. Look at you guys. Dolly Parton has mugs 9 to 5. That's right. There's no such thing. Let's see. Hi, Cindy and Beth. And Lulu, the researcher of researchers, is here. Hi, Coco. And Chewy, if you're there. Ansley's here. How are the nachos? I want some. Excuse me. Miss Alicia, my realtor, the bestest realtor in the whole wide world. How are you? Leanne, woot woot. What'd you say, Karen? You're a jewelry junkie. I know, it's hard. Oh, my friend Amy, how are you? Oh, I love you. I miss you so much. Okay, you and your negativity, mister. No money in costume jewelry. Just leave it be. You always make me laugh. You're running out of space where you live. So yes, and jewelry is, well, I don't know. See these bins? That shelf is my shoulder height, and what? 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh, I have a lot of them. Dolly has mugs. Yep, I got 2 of them. Yep, 9 to 5, and can't remember what the other one is. I haven't taken the tag off it yet. It's like a mini pearl experience, if you guys know who that is. Hello. Let's see. Just refried means, hey, that's it. Just, I know, I love you. I miss you. We got to do lunch or something. Your mom had 4 earring cases with hanging earrings, posts and clips, plus 2 drawers under each one, and I donated most of it. Did not know its worth. Lots of Sarah Coventry. Oh, wow, Lulu. Jewelry, any sorts, it's pretty much non-existent here. You know why? Because you auctioned it all off without a license. Sorry, I'll talk about that another time. I'm burning up hot mad over that whole controversy, more than I can talk about here right now. Cool thing about jewelry is it doesn't take much space per item, except you end up with mountains of it. Hey, get out of my office, Jeremy. Well, your mom was next level, though, Lulu. That is true. How's it going, Shirley? Brett is my Ethel to Lucy. That would be me, because Lucy's the crazy one, and she's Shirley to Laverne, because Laverne's the crazy one. All right, you guys and gals. Wow, 28 of you in here already. So, for those of you that do not follow me on Instagram. I hit 4,000 followers today on YouTube, and I can't even tell you how much I appreciate every single one of you for suffering with me for however long to get me here. And can you keep doing it, please? Oh, heavens to Murgatroyd. Oops, Ohio. It's not just Ohio. That's what's got me really mad. It's not just Ohio. Okay. All right. There we go. Hey, my buddy Jenny, how are you? It is. I'm so amazed. I never thought I would get here, and I appreciate 5,000 is the next marker. When I get to 5,000, we're gonna have a drawing, and you guys, somebody's, because I never give away just to one, will be getting some things, maybe some jewelry. Maybe I'll make a couple jewelry lots out. So here's the thing. Everybody seems to think that, Mary, are you in here? Or are you over at Rachel? Everybody seems to think that jewelry's super easy to list, blah, blah, blah. No, it's not. eBay made it really difficult if you follow their I like things. Everybody does. Thank you so much, everybody. So eBay in the last 5 years has just been going hog wild on changing things up. And last November, they changed the jewelry policy. So as you know, those of you that know, if there is a policy that concerns what I'm talking about, you're going to get schooled on that first, because it wouldn't be right to not. And then we'll talk about jewelry. So one of the things that I want to say first before we dig into the jewelry policy, though, is if you get an item that you know is worth some money, that you know is real, maybe it's an engagement ring of yours, maybe it's a piece of jewelry that was handed down to you that you don't see that you see more value in to help your family, whatever the reason is that you're going to sell it. I think that I personally will tell you that I think you should have it appraised. There are a lot of gemologists around, and lots of times you can go to pawn shops in your area. You can ask them who they use to appraise their jewelry. They may be certified gemologists. I don't have my paper here, but the gal that I used was referred to me by my friend Renee, Renee's Treasure Trove. I don't know if she's in here or not. I haven't talked to her for a couple of weeks. She might be mad at me because I haven't talked to her for a couple of weeks. This whole last month has just been heck on everything. And my first real true outing was the other day with my friend Sherry. The gal that was in the bins video I just released, but that was from November. eBay may seem like a pain in the tuki, I think, at this point. It doesn't matter. They all have rules. It's their sandbox. So either we play by their rules on their sandbox, or you have your own website with 0 followers. So, I mean, it's just how it is. Rules are rules. They get changed. For Lisa. Hi, Lisa. Hi, Maria. And you just need to be aware of them. And many people ignore the messages in their inboxes. The pawn shops here might give you 20 cents. I'm not telling you to go to the pawn shop and have it looked at. I'm telling you to find out who their gemologists are that do their appraisals, because a lot of the gemologists that do appraisals will do them for cheaper, and they will give you a bulk deal, and they're registered. So that's what I'm getting at, Mike. I'm not telling you to take it there to get it they will tell you what you have, and they'll give you a little written thing. Like I had 7 or 8 rings, and I think it cost me $25, something like that. And she wrote it all out. She weighed them, she cleaned them, she did everything. It's really nice. So if you have something like that, I would highly suggest that you have it appraised, especially if it's worth some money. All right, let's go into this. eBay's jewelry policy. And there's a lot to know. Somebody messaged me the other night with some pictures and the title and everything, and they said moonstone in the title, and I said, do you know that this is a moonstone? And she said no, and I said, then you better not write moonstone in your title unless you know it's a moonstone. And I'm going to show you why. Now, I will say that there are different categories that you can list things in. And if you can list it in a vintage category, that would be my suggestion, because there's less stuff to mess around with. So now if I ignore you guys for a little bit, don't get mad at me, because you know that I have a problem keeping on track. So we're going to read as much of this as we can, and then I'll try to answer some questions, okay? Jewelry can be an important purchase for many buyers, so it's important to describe items clearly and list them correctly to help buyers find exactly what they want to be and happy with the item they receive. This policy covers how to list jewelry and how to deliver a great buying experience. Now, in my opinion, from listening to a few other people who really sell a lot of jewelry, this change was ridiculously stupid, and it has messed a lot of people up. If your rules for metals, if your item is made from plated, flashed, or filled metals, you will need to clearly state this in the title, item specs, and item description, such as gold-plated silver. Platinum, gold, and silver items must meet applicable laws for stamping. Gold stamps are 10, 14, 18, 22, and 24K. Now, what sucks here is any of you that have Victorian or vintage silver and gold from Europe, a lot of those are 8 and 9K. So they're gonna, we'll go down further in this, but I'm gonna bring this up right now so you can think about it. They're not gonna want those to be considered 10K and up is considered a fine jewelry. So just think about that. Sterling silver, 808, can't remember all the numbers. Those are numbers used in Europe, older. So are they 925 and 0.999? No, but they are probably actually better, would be my guess. They're from the old times. Anyway, so platinum stamps. So what they're saying here is if you say a gold toned, if you say your brooch is gold toned in your title, you better say it's gold toned in your item specs, and you better say it's gold toned in your description. All three of those have to match. You can't say gold tone in your title, gold plated in your description, in your specifications, and then gold tone in your description. All three of those have, so, well, you can do the 333-585-750-90210-8275-309. They just won't be fine jewelry. They'll be costume jewelry or fashion jewelry category. Does that make sense? And they can have diamonds in them. Doesn't matter. Oh, you're gonna. This gets really good. Let's continue on. Right. Yep. Nope. Yep. Rules for gemstones. Gemstones must clearly describe the creation method or treatment in the title, item specs, and item descriptions. That means they all got to match and follow all the guidelines below. Natural gems. If your gem is natural, you may include the gemstone name in the title and item specifics. By the way, they consider turquoise to be a gemstone now. Okay. Treated gems. That would be like howlite that's dyed to look like turquoise. That's just an analogy. If you are listing a natural gemstone that has been treated, for example, it has been dyed to enhance the color, you are required to specify clearly in the title that the gem is treated. Remember, you only have 80 characters, right? Select the treatment type of the item specifics. Include the following treatment details in the description. Treatment type, disclose the treatment is not permanent. Disclose the treatment has a significant effect on gemstone's values. Describe any special care requirements for the gemstone to retain the benefits. Lab created gems. If you are using a lab created gemstone, you are required to specify clearly in the title that the gem is lab created using only these words immediately preceding the gemstone name, such as lab created diamond. Do not use other similar terms such as man-made or lab-grown. Select lab-created in the item specs, and you may only include the gemstone name, for example, ruby, in the listing if your lab-created gemstone has the same mineral composition as the natural. Hi, Jane. Yeah, this gets simulated gems. If you are listing a simulated gemstone, that means you have a cubic zirconium or a piece of glass that looks like a ruby or a diamond or whatever. That's simulated, right? It's not real. Don't use the word faux. Get that out of there. It has to have this in your title. Include the name or brand of the material, such as cubic zirconium, in the title. State that the gem is simulated in the item specifics and description. If you include the name of the gemstone your gem is meant to simulate, you must also include the word simulated immediately preceding the gemstone name, such as simulated diamond, simulated turquoise, simulated whatever. We haven't even begun. Look at you guys. I don't even know if I'm going to read all of this, but you need to. And then don't get freaked out because there's no reason to get freaked out over a lot of this stuff. Going back up here to rules for metals, 99% of the time you aren't going to know what it is unless it's stamped. So if it's stamped, then you know what it is, right? So if you use gold plated or gold tone, there's another drop down menu in the toggles that asks you what is the metal that's underneath. Well, how are you going to know unless you file it down and find out which is going to ruin? So when you toggle that item spec for the base metal, basically is what it is, you're probably going to need to put unknown in there. It's your safest bet. And I'm also going to tell you something right now. If you're planning on doing jewelry or you do a lot of jewelry, my best advice to you is to get some, to make up some, not drafts. Somebody help me put it in the, I hate it when I do this. This is what happens to me when I'm tired. Hi, Jennifer. To make some, Jeremy, help me out. You got to know what I'm thinking. You always do. Templates. Thank you, Brett. Wow. Make some templates up. Have a template for 14 karat gold. Have a template for gold tone. And go through and mark as many of those item specs as you can. Have a template that's got your notes, that too. Have a template for silver tone. Have a template for fashion jewelry. Have a template for each different category that you can list these in. Is that a lot of templates? Maybe so, but I'll tell you what, let's say you have 1, 2, 3, I'm just picking stuff up off my desk. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. These are all different. What if I already have a template that has the majority of that in there? It's going to make it way easier on you to have those templates. And I have a lot of friends that'll say templates are a waste of time. I beg to differ. Templates will save your ass. And yes, I said that every time when you have a lot of stuff to list. I mean, let's just say I attempted, this is from my screenshot. Let's get this out here. Let's just say I decided I was going to list all of these today. That would not be a one-day job for jewelry. Not even just from all the stuff in the things. So I would strongly suggest that if you're going to do jewelry, do your research, because you're going to have to do research on your jewelry, correct? And then make your templates. Now you can find somebody on eBay easily that sells a lot of jewelry. They may already have some templates. You may go in and look at their templates and see what they have. Also, you'll note that there are many people that have not changed. Who knows when they'll get caught, if they get caught, if we get caught. But from what I would suggest to you right now, if you're just now starting, get this policy, read it, and do your best to do everything you can do to follow it from here out. Does that make sense? Who forgot the thumbs up? Oh man, did I forget to thumbs up my own video? I'm gonna have to check that out later. Thanks, Jen. Is the leg really bad? Oh, it's not that bad. Not for me anyway, but then I'm here, aren't I? It's late after dinner and people are just listening. That could be. So, rules for gemstones. Something you guys and gals need to understand, and you've probably seen it in a lot of other things. You can't use the word emerald green in a title for a jewelry because you're using the word emerald. And unless what you're listing is an emerald, then you cannot use emerald green. You cannot use emerald cut for something that is an emerald cut, but it's not an emerald. So you may have a diamond that's an emerald cut. You may have a cubic zirconium that's an emerald cut. You're going to have to use a rectangle. I taped templates and it took like 20 minutes for you to actually be able to. So there's a lot to know here. Treated gems. If you are listing a natural gemstone, we already did that. We already did that lab created, simulated. Unknown gem type, treatment, or grade. If you do not know the gemstone has been enhanced or treated, or if it is lab created or simulated, or the grade of the gem, you should consider having it certified by a gemologist. All unknown gemstones should be listed in the fashion jewelry catalog, and you should not make any claims that are not fully known. Going right back to my friend that asked me about a brooch that she had moonstone in the title. You can't even, no faux Velcro stone onesies, none. If the stone is not an actual diamond, the term diamond cannot be included in the listing. Instead, the material used, such as moissanite, I think it is, cubic zirconia, glass, etc., should be stated. We do not allow diamonds, other gemstones, and metals that are sourced from countries with civil conflict or that do not comply with the Kimberley Process Certification Scheme. Should have pulled that up. When listing jewelry on eBay, you agree that any item you are listing is not associated with civil conflict, terrorism, or other criminal activity. They have to put that in everywhere, right? Fine jewelry is composed primarily of fine materials. A few, was it just before Christmas? I had Rob Junk Monkey on. I have linked him down below. And we talked about metals and gems and that kind of stuff. No faux pearls. What would you call them? Plastic beads. Simulated pearls is what you would call them per this. To be listed in the fine jewelry category, both the metal and the main stone must be made from fine materials. This gets really good, you guys. Secondary stones can include either fine or fashion materials. Gold that is 10 carats or higher, including rose, green, chocolate, or white gold. But the older, Victorian gold that's 9 carats or 8 carats, that's not considered a fine metal, which we all know it is. Silver and sterling silver that is 925 or higher. Not the 808 or any of that is considered Victorian jewelry. Platinum and other platinum group metals that are 0.850 or above. Gold and silver and platinum are considered fine if they are a solid metal or if they have been plated with gold, silver, platinum, palladium, or other platinum group metals. Woo! Simulated pearls. These are the lists of fine gemstones. If your gemstone is not in here, you don't get to list them under the fine jewelry category. So let's just look at this. We have, what was the one that really caught my, amber. You have amber in here, right here. Where's your cherry amber, which is basically red amber? Oh, it's not. It's not in here. There's onyx isn't in here. Rose quartz is in here, but not other quartz. Do I see tourmaline? Is tiger's eye in here? So this is really, in my opinion, white sapphire. Is blue sapphire? Yes. Is red sap, opal, peridescent. I know I'm moissanite, blue topaz. Could be. You want to list your stuff in vintage jewelry. So Native American jewelry that is made with, coral's not even in here. That's another one. Coral, turquoise, and coin silver doesn't count as fine on any level. You are correct. Yep. What do they have in here for pearl? Do they even have pearls in here? Nope. Pearls aren't considered a fine gemstone. If the item does not meet the criteria above to be considered fine jewelry, the item should be listed in the fashion jewelry category. Now, personally, I would list it in the vintage jewelry category. If the base metal is not gold, silver, or platinum group metal, the jewelry is considered fashion, even if the metal is plated with gold, silver, or platinum group metal. So you could have a gold, you could have a silver 925 ring with something that is not a fine gemstone, and you can't list it. It has to be both. The following are considered fashion jewelry: agate, butterscotch amber, cherry amber, cinnabar, cubic zirconia, simulated amethyst, simulated, all these simulated. Are pearls in here? Let's see. Obsidian, onyx. And that's synthetic turquoise. Did they even have turquoise up here? I think they did. I was looking for it, but I missed it. And it's probably right under. Do you guys see turquoise up here? Am I losing my mind? Tourmaline. I don't even see turquoise up here. That's funny. So I will let you guys go. Hey, how are you, Miss Shipika? Jewelries, I will let you guys read. Howlite, that howlite we all know is dyed many different colors, and it's kind of a white color. Hickoryite, I've never even heard of that, which means absolutely nothing. Hickoryite, is that hickory? Gotta make a joke. Setting clear buyer expectations and then meeting or exceeding them is a great way to make your buyer happy and ensure a smooth transaction. Provide accurate and consistent details about your listings. And then it just goes down in here. Loose beads can only be listed in the loose beads category. Got that? Pearls aren't any kind of stone, I know, but they're still considered they're still considered they're still considered jewelry. Naihayu. I know I'm not saying that right. Shell jewelry. The state of Hawaii regulates the sale and advertisement of jewelry made from the rare shells that come from the Hawaiian island of Naihayu. We're gonna check that out. You can use the word Naihayu or any variation of it, such as Naiha, or Naiahan. I'm still probably saying that wrong. As long as you can certify it in your listing and product that the item and produce that the item, they screwed that up, was made in Hawaii with 100% genuine shells. If you use those words, make sure you comply with the Hawaiian law. Got it? What are they? Let's just look. And then we'll all know. We should just go back. Holy moly moly, look at the price on that. I'm going to go back so that, because there was a thing right here. Tell us about it. The shells of Niha. Do they have a shell jewelry? Is one of the most Hawaiian art forms represented in Maui hands, a private island with a population of mostly pure native Hawaiian descendant. Anybody know how to say that? No? Has no rivers running into the ocean. The surrounding coral beds remain unspoiled and untouched by outside influences, allowing the tiny shells, pupa o niha, to develop their prized shine and delicacy. We'll just pretend I know what I'm saying. There you go. Those are gorgeous. So you better have a certificate of authenticity if you're going to sell these on eBay. Those are gorgeous. All right. There we go. We all learned something new today. They should be puka shells. I think that's what I was thinking too, but they look totally different than puka shells. So, all right, you guys. Now, I do know what most of my jewelry is. Don't yell at me. A lot of it, I already have identified it. It is separated. It is bagged. It is tagged. It is ready to list. I kind of save my jewelry in case something happens that I need to be sitting or doing something like that. I list pieces here and there, but for the most part, I have a bunch of it that I will be listing. I have a bunch of it I will be bringing to Whatnot. And yes, I'm going to still continue to sell on Whatnot. So that's where that is. Let's talk about this. Every one of these that I'm bringing up is listed down below. This is the Assay Office of Birmingham. And I don't know what it was that I was researching that brought me to this, but it's protecting the consumer and servicing the trade with independence and integrity. And that they have all kinds of things you can come in here. So until 1998, a hallmark consisted of 4 compulsory marks. Since 1998, the date letter has become optional, but the other 3 symbols remain compulsory. So we're talking fine jewelry here, right? The sponsor's mark, the standard mark, traditional fineness mark, assay office mark. So, and it goes down in here and it tells you all about these. This is what I wanted to talk about. This shows the fineness of the metal. Purity of the precious metal content is parts per thousand. Hello. Hello, Miss Ansley. I always say it wrong. always, but she forgives me. In relation to the standard recognized in the UK, for example, 750 parts per thousand by weight is equivalent to the old 18 karat gold standard. The alloy must be at least 750 parts per 1,000 to be marked as such. There is no negative tolerance. So here you have the 9 karat, right? That I talked about a little bit ago, 375. You can't sell that as fine jewelry on eBay anymore. It has to be in your fashion jewelry. 585, 750, 916, 990, 999. I suggest you familiarize yourself with these numbers, because as you start seeing newer stuff from after the 98, you're going to start seeing different hallmarks in them. And then it goes silver 800. Well, you can't consider that's not considered fine jewelry in eBay standards, right? Then you have platinum. 850 is not considered fine. Wait a minute. Yep, 850 is. And then you have palladium. So, and then there's all these different markings. There are so many different markings for jewelry. The member countries of the convention that goes by all of this, here they all are, and examples of their office marks. So this is a good place to come and do a lot of research. And then there's date letters, news, all kinds of stuff. All right. One of the things that I really want to talk about is Trifari jewelry. I see a lot of people talking about Trifari, and I wonder to myself in my head, because I am like the only person I have to talk to most of the time, is how many people realize that there's Trifari, there was Crown Trifari, and there were different designers and makers. So let's look at I'm going to ignore you guys. What made Trifari jewelry special? A history of Trifari jewelry. So what made it special? There were several things that made Trifari jewelry the most attractive option for vintage enthusiasts, being a result of the Great Depression. When people looked for style at affordable price, you did not have to break the bank in order to buy a piece. So this one you will see, I don't know, there's a crown over the T. Not all Trifari is Crown Trifari. You can call me anytime. A friend just sold. Yep. For $1,700 for sure. Trifari is something I see a lot here. Crown Trifari. I have hundreds of pieces of Trifari over here, and I'm not just saying that to say that. But when I go to an estate sale, the first thing I do is turn over a piece of jewelry, and I look to see if there is a maker's mark. As in, let's see. This is a really cool brooch. It's actually 3 brooches in one, because you can wear. But let's see if it'll focus. Probably not. Both brooches have. Oh, I do not like this camera. Both brooches have a maker's mark on them. I don't care. And then the other one's down in here. And this one is Sarah Coventry. It's not going to focus. This would be a fashion jewelry piece, right? It's gold tone. It has simulated pearls, simulated diamonds, or is cubic zirconium? Who knows? We don't know. I don't have anything to tell me what this is. I'm going to list this in the vintage department, and I'm going to do my best to answer as many of the item specs as I can, and the rest of them I'm going to leave empty. If you can't answer an item spec, don't put NA in it. Just leave it alone. Leave it be. I have 700 and some listings that don't have all the item specs answered, and they never will, because I'm not going to go in and fix them. That's just some of them you'll never be able to fix. What are palladium ingots? People's fillings? Oh, I don't know. They could be. Do you find that people hosting the estate sale know about? Nope. 95% of them do not. That is true. All right. The history of Trifari jewelry. Many jewelry brands have a simple history. However, Trifari's is actually quite long and colorful. The founder was Gustav Trifari, or Trifari, however you want to say it. I'm not going to pick on anybody. An Italian that grew up learning the goldsmith trade in 1910. Trifari started the brand Trifari shortly after moving from Italy to the United States. At first, Gustav collaborated with his uncle in creating the Trifari jewels. Still, even after his uncle left the business, he would continue creating jewelry. The only thing that actually changed was the name of the business. From Trifari and Trifari, it was turned into Trifari. Got that? Now you're looking for 3 different brands. The initial is Trifari and Trifari, but I'm not sure how those are. I'm gonna have to do a little more research. I love researching this kind of stuff because you learn so much. By the time 1925 turned a corner, Gustav joined forces with Leo Krusman and Carl Fischel. The company once more saw a change in its name, this time in Trifari, Krusman, and Fischel. Now you got 4, right? Trifari and Trifari, Krusman, and Fischel. At that time, Trifari became quite popular, standing out mostly due to their quality. That being said, Trifari was known for being an avid fan of quality control. Numerous collectors would agree that quality-wise, Trifari was way above the average of what the competition offered. And a side note, somewhere else, when I was doing some research, who knows when, Trifari plated over real silver. Some of their older pieces are a gold tone, but there's real silver underneath. So there you have it. Just keep that in mind. At the time, unique designs. At that time, Trifari pieces were so unique that you could easily distinguish them from other brands. The enamel designs, collared stones, and gold silver toned were in a category of their own. So here you go. These are enamel. I love enamel jewelry. I have a piece here. I had a piece here. I recently sold a piece of Weiss, which is another favorite of mine. This is an originals by Robert, and that's a company I'm having a hard time researching. So everybody has these listed really low, and I will not list mine low because nobody has one like mine, but I'm kind of picky about that, and I'll sell it. So these are Crown Trifari for her. These are also Crown Trifari. Here's some Trifari bracelets. Look at the colors. Here's some Trifari rings. Did you guys know that they did rings? Trifari. Yep. After World War II, gold was not very easy to come by, and even if it was, many people no longer had the means to buy it. At that point, people just wanted something that looked expensive, but in fact was fairly cheap. This is why Trifari came up with Trifaranium. This alloy that they created was resistant to tarnish, and it was smooth and durable enough to double as an alternative to precious metal. With the creation of this alloy, Trifari rose even more on the popularity rank. I beg you guys, when you see a piece at an estate sale, if you see one piece, continue looking. You may find the other pieces. The jewelers that Trifari hired to create his jewels pulled no punches. They knew exactly what they were doing. The most notable name of his time was Alfred Felipe, a designer that worked for companies such as Van Cleef and Arpels and Cartier before joining Trifari. So know these names. And when you find a piece of Trifari, do your homework and find out who the designer was and get that name in your hey KK, get that name in your title, because that's gonna bring you the money, right? Brett, I'm not gonna read my Instagram. Sorry. Am I not sharing? Oh my gosh, I'm not sharing this whole time. Sorry. Oh boy, oh boy, oh boy. Let's go back up here. Here's your Trifari. I did that. I turned it off to show you guys that. Here's the pictures I was showing. Sorry. I got you now. So here's your rings. Here's this set that's in the trifanium. How many of you guys knew that they created their own metal alloy? Here is your guy, Alfred Felipe. Oh man, I'd love to have this brooch, and I don't do jewelry, but I love mushrooms in anything. They're just so cool. Trifari was actually transformed once Felipe joined their forces. He had developed several techniques at the previous companies that he worked at, such as the invisible gemstone setting. Felipe remained with Trifari until the moment he retired in 1968, which was a year after I was born. But collectors agree that the pieces designed by him were exquisite. His designs are always been greatly sought by collectors throughout various times. Gold pave and ruby cabochons mushroom pin designed by Alfred Felipe in the 1960s. I don't know, to be honest with you, if it has any marks other than Trifari or Crown Trifari. You're going to have to do your research to find out who the designers are, right? Raspberry rhinestone brooch and earrings designed by Alfred Felipe in the 1960s. So Trifari rose even more in popularity after he collaborated with producers of Hollywood Broadway in 1930 after creating custom jewelry pieces for several famous actors. Trifari gained even more terrain on the market and repositioned the brand. Jane Fonda, look at her. Vogue magazine, 1959. You know, I probably have one of those. These pictures right here, these advertisements, they sell for good money if you have the thing. All right, the Trifari shift. Here's where it really goes into something that maybe you know and maybe you don't. Nearing the end of the 20th century, in 1994, Trifari merged with Monet Group, so Monet Jewelry. Yet another brand that was designed vintage costume jewelry. Later on, Liz Claiborne also purchased Monet, which Trifari was now a part of. Once this happened, jewelry and clothing pieces were sold under the same name. After a short time, Liz Claiborne sent the production for Trifari jewelries overseas, probably because they saw it as a much bigger advantage for gaining profit. Trifari jewelry of lower quality was later mass-produced, sold afterward on the Trifari card. On the newer products, you would not see a stamp. Too many people, this suggested that it no longer had the quality it once had. This is why most collectors prefer the mid-20th century pieces to the more recent ones. Common materials used in Trifari jewelry are faux pearls. There you go. Don't use that word. Rhinestones, enamel, lucite to make imitations of precious gemstones, sterling silver, which they used to put over the top of their other base metal, trifanium base metal that looks similar to silver or gold, semi-precious stones, i.e. coral or jade. Usually the main materials would change with time. However, one thing they did adhere to was their use of inexpensive materials. The worth of the jewelry was determined by the craftsmanship and the attention to detail. Look at that. Gorgeous. Trifari white enamel clip-on earrings. I love the enamel. All right. Popular Trifari collectibles. The Trifari crown brooches by Alfred Felipe. If you see these, you definitely want to grab them. The Jelly Belly brooches. Trifari made use of lucite. So you see this whole main center here is referred to as a jelly belly, and the eyes too on this one. The brooches took the shape of a variety of beings, from bees and tortoises to frogs, birds, and pigs. But why jelly bellies, you may ask? Because they had their bellies made from lucite in colorful shades that resembled the jelly texture. The coronation gems. These were made in the 30s and symbolic of Queen Elizabeth's coronation. Probably worth some pretty good money right now that she's gone. Patriotic pins, pearl jewelry collections, the floral brooches, the clip mates, double clip styling that used to be all the rage. To put it simply, a clip mate was a type of brooch that could be separated into two different dress clips. Depending on the design, one of the mates could even be used as a pendant. Fruit and vegetable pins. I'm really just kind of digging into Trifari and maybe a couple other tonight because there's so many different costume jewelries out there. Pearls. I recently got the crown on the right and needs some stones. Well, let's go back up here. This one right here. My right or your right? The one with the blue. I would go to, you can Trifari. I would use Swarovski. I can never get that out right. Swarovski. See, lots of people have problems saying things, and that's just how it is. Swarovski. That's how it is. I would find matching ones to that and put them in, and just make sure that you let them know that that's what you did. The third one over. Okay. All right, so there are a lot. I was hoping, I didn't read this whole thing. Here we go. Trifari designers. The link to this article is down below, you guys. You have Alfred Felipe, Alfred Spanny, David Murr. So all of these designers are in here. Jacques Felipe, Alfred's son, Dunt. How to identify Trifari jewelry. I want a pair of these clogs. They're bothering me. As we know at this point, Trifari went through several changes, which is why the markups may also differ. In order to identify whether a Trifari piece is authentic or not, you need to look for the marks. Remember, if it is not signed, it is not Trifari. Here is what you need to search for. When jewelry was made in the 1920s under Trifari, Krusman, and Fischl, the jewelry bore a KTF mark. In this case, the pieces had a larger T. See how that T is above the K and the F at the center, whereas the K and the F were slightly smaller. Trifari patent pending crown Trifari mark, mid-1930s to 1955. In the 1930s, Trifari jewelry had the Trifari patent pending marks. So you see that right here, Trifari patent pending, and you also see it up here. You can barely see the crown over the bottom one. Starting with 1937, the mark also had a crown above the T. Maybe that isn't a crown. Looks like it's part of. As a response to the growing popularity of the crown Trifari brooches, this lasted up until 1955. Crown Trifari without the C symbol was 1955 and on. So if you see this, it could very well be Alfred Felipe, because he retired in 1969. Crown Trifari with C symbol, 1955 to 1969. So if you guys are really into this, this is a really good resource for you to come and identify your jewelry by the marks on it for Trifari. Somewhere around 1955, Trifari made it so that their mark also had a copyright symbol. This design would appear on the jewelry made anytime between 1955. For example, the highly popular fruits and vegetable Trifari pins also featured this mark. Crownless Trifari mark with the copyright symbol, 1970s to 1980s. Starting with 1970, Trifari took out the crown but left the copyright symbol. That being said, it still had a typeface that went over the copyright symbol. See how that A went over the top? The jewelry that was made by Trifari between 1970 and late 1980 had this mark. Reaching the end of the 80s, Trifari would mark their costume jewelry with Trifari TM. That being said, in 2000, the Trifari business was taken over by Liz Claiborne. From that moment on, none of the costume jewelry made by Trifari featured a mark. There you have it. The bottom line, to this day, Trifari remains a great jewelry brand that is appreciated in the vintage collector's world. While the pieces of jewelry made after 2000 were not as delicate or popular, the ones before that are considered to be exquisite and top quality. A simple brooch from the golden years of Trifari can fetch a fortune in the collector's market. And with that, I don't think I have that. Let's just go right over here and let's look at Trifari. Let's go here. Look at, see, here's your two different categories, vintage and antique jewelry, fashion jewelry. I would stick to this one with your vintage. So here is more than likely a Trifari piece that was made by Liz Claiborne, right? More than likely not marked anywhere, made in China. That's what we just learned, right? All right. Here is a vintage Trifari gold tone bug. Let's see what it's got on the bottom of it. I really, oh, it's a bid amount. I was going to say, oh my goodness, that's shameful. So, all right, I'm going to have to go. There's your crown Trifari, and it's got the copyright. And you can't consider that to be a jelly belly because that is not clear lucite, right? That is a gorgeous piece. All right. Hello, let's go back. Oh, I need to close out here. Let's look at some pieces. Here's a beautiful little turtle. Buy it now. $224 only. That's all. Yep. Everything that I'm talking about, there's a link to in the descriptions. Let me tell you guys, there's a lot of links down there. Crown Trifari, Alfred Felipe. Oh, why do people do this? 6 days and 20 hours. Right now it's at $999 or $99, $99.99. I would have started that sucker at $900. Alfred Felipe, they have the necklace, they have the earrings. Let's see. Where's the mark? Trifari, patent pending. All right. What I want to do right here is I want to go. Now I'm just doing a general search, right, you guys? I didn't put in Crown Trifari. I didn't put in Jelly Bellies. I didn't do anything. Have you looked for another, like, also incomplete that you can use for donor stones? Oh, that's a good idea too, Brett. Let's go here to sold items. And, oh, really? Oh, man, do I hate it when they do this. Condition ended recently. Shipping highest first. Woo! Now do you understand why I wanted you to learn about Trifari? I should have bought it. Masterpiece. Look whose name is in that title, you guys. I'm telling you right now, do your research. Spend an hour if you need to. This is gorgeous. Masterpiece Trifari, Alfred Felipe Sorrento, baby tooth necklace, rarest design. These little faux pearls, whatever you want to call them, you see how tiny they are? They look like baby teeth, and that is one of his signature. Oh man, $7,100. Wow, this is on my bucket list to find one of these baby tooth necklaces or the earrings. This is amazing. So let's see. Look at what category do we have this in? Clothing, shoes and accessories, jewelry, watches, vintage and antique jewelry. There you go. That's what you want to put these in. And then you don't have to worry about all of oh, hell's bells. It's Albert. I lost you somewhere. Hey, Jan. Woo woo. Is Courtney in here too? Hello. Not ignoring you guys. So Crown Trifari snake brooch pin. This one wasn't sold. Garden of Eden, Alfred Felipe. So this Alfred is the son of. No, wait a minute. Alfred isn't the son. That's another Alfred. What was the son's name? I forget already. I see that Bob Ross movie is coming out. Is this a good time to sell his items? Anytime is a good. Listen here, Glenn. Anytime is a good time to sell Bob Ross items. Anytime. His stuff always sells well, but it probably sell even better would be my guess. All right, let's go out of this piece. I'm hoping are these Jelly Bellies? Not enamel. Ultra rare Trifari birds on a branch pin. Ultra rare, you guys. Does that mean there was only one of them made? Because rare, I'm not going into that. This is gorgeous. I don't know enough to say that I would want to think that that's a Jelly Belly. Brett, what do you know? Hi, Jody. Hello. Jody has a new video out. Everybody should go watch it. It's on stickers and oh my goodness, she's got some good ones. This is a gorgeous pin. $3,978. 24 bids. What did they start this at? $695. Smart. A bid was retracted. That's all right. Action 2,500. Oh well, it sold for way more than that. I love Trifari, but just don't freak out when you hear it, because if it's an older one, which is closer to our age, here's another baby tooth. Oh man, these are gorgeous. And it has the original tag and it has the bracelet, and it has the brooch, and it has the earrings. Wow, that's and it has the original box. And don't call it a Jelly Belly, but it's love. Yeah, that's what I think. Look at, all right, what did they, vintage antique jewelry. These people are somebody that you want to, 17,681. So, maybe you want to pull this off to the side and take a look at their item specs after we went through that whole thing, right? Ring size, not applicable. I probably, they could have put a ring size in there. They didn't want to. Collar, gold, white, clear, material, glass, metal, rhinestone, certification. They have that brand. Metal purity, unknown. Color, diamond intensity, not applicable. There's, I think in some of these item specs for jewelry and fine jewelry, there's 51 item specifications if you fill them all out. So there you go. That's a pretty good close-up of those. They are just gorgeous, and they look like baby teeth, and that's the name. So let's see. Obviously I'm looking at highest to lowest on the sold list. Here's another one. This is enamel, $2,900. There were so many different designers. Here's a pin. Here's a vegetable pin. Here's one they're calling Jelly Belly. Is that little frogs? Demi moonstone pearl brooch. Don't know if those are real moonstones. This is gorgeous. If I had this, I would be listing this. That's gorgeous. That probably sold to somebody that has something to do with the Kentucky Derby, would be my guess. $29.75. Alfred Spanny. Let's see what the... Oh, they didn't do a very good looking to see if it's not. Sometimes these will not. I hate it when it does that and you can't look at the... This one doesn't want to hover. Equestrian lover for sure. For sure. Uh-oh. You baby. So yeah, look at that one. Rare Trifari Pearl Belly Swan Brooch. Here's a true Jelly Belly. Here we go. Let's look. Where do they have this one listed in the vintage antique? Yep. Look at that. They must have enhanced their photo. When you go in on eBay and you enhance your photo before you do your listing, and then somebody comes to hover over it, that's what they get to see. Leave your photos alone. Take a good photo. Crop it if you need to. Don't enhance it. Don't intensify the magnification. Don't make it brighter. Don't make it lighter. Just take a good picture the first time. Look at, they even have the original box too, and they did the same thing on this photo, or we would be getting a clearer picture. Let's see if there's one of them that has, oh, what did we do here? I want to, that one you can tell without even hovering over it. With a piece that's this beautiful, you really do not need to I'm frustrated by them doing that. They don't even have a marking, a picture of the marking on the back. So I guess we're taking their word that it's truly safari. Hi, Lynn. How are you? Let's see if we can find something else. Here's the same one. Not the same one. a same one. This one went for 22. This one had 17 bids. This one had 47. All right, let's see if these guys were kind enough. There's that Alfred Felipe Royal Crown brooch. Let's see if these guys, look at, they didn't enhance theirs. This is not in amazing condition. You can see how it has lost some of its plating, and it's still sold for $22.25. Where is the mark? Right there. Hopefully they did there you go. I don't know what all of that means. RE something. Trifari. What does that say? TERL. TERLIN. So maybe that's the Trifari jewelry. Let's see what it says here. Sensational Alfred Felipe for Trifari retro style angelfish brooch of rose gold plate, sterling silver. Remember I told you that they plated over sterling silver? Set with large oval cabochon, however you say it, faux ruby surrounded by oval faux pink and citrine stones, emerald bullet cabochon eye, and rectangular sapphire baguette fins with crystal rhinestone pave tail. Is there somebody in my house? There's a small child here. Hey, you guys, look who's here.
Hello. There was a stray dog or the neighbor's dog.
Probably the neighbor's dog.
Yeah.
How you feeling?
Better.
You watching TV? Yeah.
It was probably Django, but when I was walking into the house, he ran.
Oh, did he?
He ran. And me and Daddy saw him a couple days ago, last week actually, when he was dropping me off for school. He was trying to get into another person's house.
Uh-oh. All right, what are you up to? You watching TV?
Yes,
All
and
right.
hugging.
I love you.
Hello.
Everybody's saying hi.
Hello. Goodbye.
He lives next door now. He is a real... I agree with you.
I will start eating the ice cream. And I will be eating from the tub because I am a savage. Wait, I have an idea.
Come over here so they can see you.
I have an idea. We can put an N for nanny on one tub and a D for dread on one tub.
Since when do I eat ice cream?
I don't know.
Have you ever seen me eat ice cream?
No.
Who eats the ice cream that is in this house?
Me and Uncle Rod.
There you go. Who do I buy the ice cream for?
Me and Uncle Rod.
There you go. Why is that? Why do I buy ice cream for you guys?
Because we want it.
That's it?
And you love us.
Oh, is that true? And I'm the coolest nanny in the whole world?
No.
All right, go have your ice cream and watch whatever you're watching. Stay out of trouble.
Never.
Because I'm a savage. Don't know where he got that one from. They like Haagen-Dazs coffee ice cream, so when I see it, I get it. It's not always. You guys haven't seen him for a while. I'll tell you what. That moving next. Uh-oh. That's the kind to get right there, apparently. Coffee ice cream. In case you needed to know. Hi, Sherry. This is my new friend, Sherry. I met her in, when did we meet, Sherry? October, September at Retail's thrift store here in Vancouver. And if you guys watched part of or any of my latest video I put out on the bins, you'll see her in there. She is a gem. We went to the bins the other day. There'll be another video coming out. New nickname, the Savage. Yep. Tell you what, he and his dad moved next door, and the first night he cried himself to sleep, and I said, "That's okay, buddy. I cried myself to sleep too." All right. Back to this. Everything in this listing is what it shouldn't be per the jewelry thing that we saw. I have a feeling that a lot of people aren't caring about eBay's new jewelry policy. But like I said, from now going forward, any of your stuff that you have that you're going to list, you should probably do your best to list as close to that as possible, because they are suspending people. They are giving people 3-day suspensions, and they are thanks, Lynn, you're jaded. They are sending nasty grams out, and they will tell you that you got the information, and you got a letter in your seller updates about jewelry in November when they did all of this. So all net proceeds will support the Assistance League of the Greater San Diego. So this is a nonprofit organization, and they only had 79. They only have 79. So this right here shows you how much Alfred Felipe for Trifari goes for, because as we saw when we're looking at this, and this picture may not be the best, it may not be showing the color that the last one did, but this is a great picture in my opinion, because it is showing how you can look at it and you can see that the plating is coming off, which actually personally now you got silver underneath. So kind of funny that this one sold for $225 and it's in that shape, and the other one right here sold for $2,400, which wasn't that much more, right? There you have it. Oh, here's a beautiful rarest Trifari Alfred Felipe jewels of India. Rarest. Is there a rarest? Oh, wow. This is another name. We'll talk about her in just a minute. Let's look at this, and then we're going to go to that. I'm going to give you two big names to look for. What did we list this one in? Okay, vintage. Okay. That's gorgeous. I bet you this is that same person. Yep. I can tell by this that did the angelfish. I can also tell because when I hover over it, their picture has been adjusted. This is what happens. So if you don't know that and you're going in and adjusting your picture in eBay, this is what it does. It's not hard to take good pictures of jewelry. It really, really is not, you guys. Crown Trifari. But when you find these things like this, they sell. People that have a lot of the pieces to them, they didn't adjust this picture, which is nice. That's really beautiful. $2,075 for that. Antiquer 18. All right. Miriam Haskell. Oh, you have that bracelet. Miriam Haskell. I don't have any links for her, but I want you to print that one into your name, Miriam Haskell. Yeah, that's gorgeous. $585 they're asking for this one. And the sale ends, what do they have it on? Price. It's not a bid. All right, I'm going to do copy. Miriam Haskell jewelry. Some of her stuff can go for quite a bit of money too. She's very, I don't know what the word you may want to use is, gaudy. Very, wow, I find that's so unlike her. These pieces right here. That's gorgeous. All right, let's look at some of her higher sold. Rare vintage Miriam Haskell dangling glass beads rhinestone pin brooch. Everything in that title is wrong as far as eBay's new jewelry policy. I love it. All right, let's look at some. You know, it's how it is, right? I think it gets to the point, here we go. I'm telling you guys, Hollywood Regency. There you go. Very much so. Look at these prices. Now they're struck through. I have shown 100 times how to look these up. This guy right here, vintage high-end jewelry, Denia. Oh, Christian Dior, Chifari, and Anne Klein. Pre-owned. Look at that. That's gorgeous. Let's look at that. Let's look at this. Something over here is... That is amazing. That is just beyond amazing. That just makes me happy. I love sunflowers. I love yellow and earth colors. That's just amazing. Baroque pearl necklace, bracelet, earrings, Peru set. Now I would have had this picture first because it shows the whole set. Oh, that is, look at these earrings, you guys. Oh, I don't wear jewelry, but I would be tempted to wear that. I don't know what I'd wear. It would look good on my black sweatshirt, don't you think? Okay, let me show you what the mark looks like. Sorry, I'm oohing and awing. There you, of course, it's upside down. Let's see if there's a better one that's not. Nope. All right. I think that other one was better. Miriam Haskell. I have, okay, anatomy. That one. I have one other that I pulled up. Okay, this is the Antique Trader. Link down below. And I think she talks about what is costume jewelry, right? Parried set is when they are 3 or more matching pieces. Demi pasture is set of 2. Thank you very much. Good night, Lisa. Thank you for being here. All right. Should have done this at the very beginning, but for those of you coming in, look at, you didn't really miss everything. So compressing collecting costume jewelry into tidy little packages, no easy feat. I learned this several years ago by writing a book on the topic, Warman's Costume Jewelry and More. Recently lecturing to a group of fine jewelry enthusiasts. What is costume jewelry? First, collectors who love it don't refer to costume jewelry as junk, but back in the 1930s, when many of the most collectible pieces by Trifari, Marcel Boucher, and Eisenberg, hold the presses. Because I just bought this a couple weekends ago. This, and I paid 50% of that price because I got it on the last day. This is a set of 2, and it is Eisenberg Ice. That is the brooch, and more than likely, I think it's in my reel. You're not going to be able to see it. It's right there. It's not going to, if I hold it there long enough, we'll see. Oh, that's irritating. I'm going to have to play with that. But here are the matching earrings. Not helping much, is it? And on, maybe it'll come in better on here because it literally does say Eisenberg. It says Eisenberg Ice, and it's got the copyright symbol on the back. I'm not going to be able to get it up close enough. These are gorgeous, and I had no problem paying $75 for them because I will more than make my money back. All right, let's go back to this. The main reason I'm showing you this is because there's some stuff down in here that I really wanted you to see. So, and others were made. It was common to call these sparkling treasures junk jewelry. The jewelry was made to be worn for a season or two while it was in style and then replaced with pieces to complement more current fashions. Of course. There are some exceptions, of course, but in general, costume jewelry is adornment made using artificial stones. Sometimes precious stones may be incorporated into pieces, but the majority are made using decorative components such as rhinestones, hard plastics, or art glass. This is Elizabeth Taylor for Avon Elephant Walk Brooch. And if you guys don't know that Elizabeth Taylor and Avon had a collaboration, that stuff goes for a lot of money. She goes on to talk about base metal and what makes costume jewelry collectible. And down in here, she talks about this Trifari piece has coral and jade in it. That's one of the reasons I pulled this up. Some of the most collectible costume jewelry takes the form of finely crafted pieces made during the 30s and 40s. Some of these mimic fine jewelry styles that were introduced by jewelers like Cartier during the same period. Trifari, for instance, made a number of coveted designs based on Cartier's famed Tutti Frutti jewelry. Well, why is that? Because Alfred Philippe worked for Cartier, I believe we just learned that, before he came to Trifari. Instead of rubies, sapphires, and emeralds carved to look like miniature fruits, Trifari were made of brightly colored molded glass stones collectors called fruit salad. Trifari matched set of dress clips with fruit salad stones. So there's a pear. These are all pears and apples, it looks like. Of course, many costume jewelry aficionados are drawn in different directions with materials like Bakelite. The colorful and chunky bangle bracelets and whimsically carved brooches made of this type of plastic were originally sold in dime stores. I'll tell you something about Bakelite as well. Wooden Sweetheart Soldier Brooch from Joseph of Hollywood's. You will see, do I have that? When you are at an estate sale or maybe a garage sale or maybe going through your mom's jewelry box because you shouldn't be, but you can't help yourself. I don't know anybody that would do that. Where is this piece? Oh. You will find, I'm running out of room. Hang on. You're going to find pieces like this. This is a piece used for sewing, right? Maybe I need a whole new different camera because this is Bakelite. I know it's Bakelite. This is made by Dritz. These will sell for a lot of money. You're not selling it for the tool that it is. You're selling it for the Bakelite because a collector's going to buy this, or a jewelry artisan, and they're going to remove it from this and they're going to use it to make jewelry from. Who's crying? Definite Bolo, that Avon collection for sure. And also, if you guys watched one of my other videos that I did on sewing, this is a tatting shuttle that you use to do tatting, which is a form of making knots that looks similar to crochet. A lot of these tatting shuttles were made of Bakelite. A lot of office supplies had Bakelite handles just like this. So when you see Bakelite, you own one of those. Yep, sewing machine stuff. All right, when you see Bakelite, it is worth a lot of money because it is not produced anymore, correct? I don't know why they don't produce it anymore. I'm sure they still can, but of course, I would use it to trace your patterns. Well, that's what it was made for, right? Somebody else that knows that it's Bakelite and puts it out there is going to get more money for it, for the Bakelite. All right. Miriam Haskell costume. Here we go. Miriam Haskell, costume jewelry of the stars. Also remember to buy the best you can afford and take a minute to have a drink of coffee. If you love the best of the best costume jewelry pieces and you can fit them in your budget, go for it. Just remember to do your research regarding reproductions beforehand and buy from a reputable dealer. If your pockets aren't that deep, you can still own a really fun collection built around a more affordable theme. Even kids can have fun collecting jewelry purchased for a few dollars here and there. Toxic poison. I know this is off subject, but if you live in Ohio, no, Kathy, you don't. It's a bunch of crap. Sorry. Dawn is irritating a lot of people. That's been around for a long time. I don't want to talk about that on this show at all. Sorry. Yep. This one right here. I watched him earlier. I follow Dawn. I've known Dawn for a long time. I'm sorry. All right. Miriam Haskell. Let's go here. Here she is. Miriam Haskell, costume jewelry of the stars. With creative partner Frank Hess, and you need to know that name too, Miriam Haskell designed affordable costume jewelry pieces promoted by some of Hollywood's biggest names. Discover why her vintage items are in such high demand. So why was Miriam Haskell? So who was she? Many people refer to her as if a single woman crafted every piece of jewelry with her name on it. No one really knows how many pieces she actually produced with her own hands, but the consensus among jewelry historians is not much. Prior interviews with former employees and old-timers in the industry point to Haskell being a businesswoman based in a bustling city of New York first and foremost, and she did have the good sense to hire a terrific designer to help her grow her company in the early years. So Frank Hess was a jewelry designer, and he did more than just for Miriam Haskell. But this link is down below, the original one, and it's the Antique Trader. I would suggest subscribing to them and putting them in your browser. Like I have a bookmark thing here that's just jewelry. And you can see in my other bookmarks, I have ones that I need to move over to just jewelry. So it's good to have these things here, right? So that you can find this. So now if we go back here, Juliana jewelry, that's an amazing thing too. But I don't want to talk about Juliana jewelry right now. Oh, what time is it? 7:34. Not doing too bad. So Miriam Haskell. I don't want to talk about it, you guys, at all. Period. I do not want to talk about Dawn's video. You guys are all adults. Do your own research. Make your own phone calls. If it was that big of a deal years ago, eBay would not. There's many states. It's not just Ohio. So be educated. Do your research. I have already done a poop ton of research on it. So let's just stop with that whole topic. I'm really going to get PO'd. And Janet is correct. All right. So Miriam Haskell. Oh, these are gorgeous. They started them too low, in my personal opinion. I have something that's similar to that, but not her. So lost my train of thought. Costume jewelry is a thing. Vintage costume jewelry is a huge thing. And if you can just at least teach yourself the, let's see if that's not going to go there. If you can at least teach yourself the, where is that? Did I put that in here? Did not. The names of some of the more popular ones. Oh, I know where it is. Let's see if that'll go there now. This site right here, antiquetrader.com, collectibles best costume jewelry designers. This is where you want to be. Read up on these. Coco Chanel, Elsa, I'm going to murder this. Shira Pirelli are original influencers when it comes to costume jewelry design and promotion. Anyway, and who is this? Does anybody know who this is? Anybody? Oh, dang it. All right. Does anybody know who this guy is right here? Salvador Dali. And this is Shirapelli. They did a partnership to make jewelry. Collab designer Elsa Shirapelli. I can't say it. You see dead people? Are they talking to you? So I strongly urge you guys to go to the Antique Trader and research these people and start getting an eye for some of their pieces. I have been collecting and learning about costume jewelry for 4 years now. And I just don't, every weekend I go out and I find something with a new name that I've not heard. And there are so many out there. I linked down below Sandra, the Funky Pickle Thrifter, and she does a lot with jewelry. She's hilarious. She's fun to watch. She does jewelry jars. She does vintage jewelry. She does jewelry with her mom. The Melting Clock Dude made jewelry. The Melting Clock Dude. The Melting Clock Dude. Can you discuss? All of the books are going to be older, right? I like books too. I have some. I didn't bring them in here. I think that if you look, that lady I was just talking about here a little bit ago, she wrote a book. The one where it was talking about just costume jewelry. It's on this right here. It's another page to this. That link is actually in the description on the entry for the Antique Trader. And just continue. But I think, I like books too, but I also like a lot of the stuff on the internet because you're going to see pieces that you may never see in the books. Coco Jean Very, who was born as Guido Verachicha, worked as a designer for Coro. Oh, Coro jewelry. Holy moly. Coro, here's a Coro pin, $200 to $300. Well, I want you guys to know, I guess I could take that off of there. Coro jewelry. I found this I actually got this free. I looked at it. Where did I put it? It's not there. It's not there. It's not there. I put it away is what I did with it. It's not there. I'm going to be mad at myself here in a minute. This is not where it's supposed to be. Oh, because it's over here. Because I was running out of room. This surprised me. This brooch, which is actually, go on my Instagram and you'll see a better picture of it. It is actually La Liatala Acrosala for Isabel. It's a religious brooch, and it's amazing. And on the back, which you're not going to be able to see, right there it says Coro. I have a picture of it on my Instagram. Coro jewelry is a name to know. I ran across the Victoria and Albert Museum in England. Here's a link for some jewelry. Thank you. I have bookshelves of reference books that I will never get rid of because you may need them, because a lot of that stuff, I mean, that for me, I like it. Janet found a book that I let her take back with her on Railroad Anya. So, you know, Coro is a name you want to know. Capel, Eisenberg, Hattie Carnegie's most celebrated figural pieces. You could just go on and on and on. Look at that. Another, I wonder if they have, this is Hobei jewelry. I have a video, a short video on Hobei. Where did that go? Do you remember home party jewelry? Where did my Hobei one go? Did I click on the wrong thing? The legendary splendor of Hobei jewelry, a favorite of the Ziegfeld Follies and a hit with Hollywood starlets. Hobei jewelry shines among the finest costume jewelry collectible brands. Thinking about Hobei, isn't that gorgeous? Now, from some of the research that I did without ever looking up here, a brand with French roots that thrived for more than 60 years, I can't help but remember meeting Don Hobei at a jewelry collector's event back in the early 2000s. His appearance was striking, with dark hair and an old Hollywood-style pencil-thin mustache. The gentlemanly demeanor impressed us throughout the weekend. Once you've started looking at the varied wares sold under the Hobei brand, it's easy to understand why collectors become enamored. And this stuff goes for some buku money. And, oh, shoot. I'm so sorry. Let's go back up here. Hobei, the legendary splendor of Hobei jewelry. So this is what I was reading. So you didn't miss much of anything. What I had a necklace, a brooch, and the earrings, and I sold them for almost $500, including shipping. I paid $100 for them. They were green glass. Hobei art glass bead brooch and earring set, 100 to 150. Most of his jewelry sets. Good night. I will talk to you later. Thank you for coming. Actually got them from one of Curiosity Inc.'s auctions from them. Oh, really? Did you? That's cool. I wouldn't sell them for cheap. Most of the Hobei jewelry is not marked. Were they marked? Jenny, Were the back of those earrings marked? Hobey et Cie was founded by Jacques Hobey in France in 1887. With William Hobey, his son moved to the United States around 1920, bringing his family's acuity for producing high-quality jewelry with him. He founded the Hobey Button Co. first, and then a costume jewelry business called Hobey C. Ltd. I believe mine are marked. Yes, you should list them high. I believe a lot of the Hobey jewelry is marked only on the brooches, especially if they came in a set. The patents filed during the 1940s credit either William Hobey or his wife Sylvia Hobey. I wonder if that's her. Nope, Ava Gardner. I should have known that. All Hobey products sold for good sums in boutiques as well as upscale departments stores. Rose tassel earrings. Talking about Giuliani jewelry again. I will show you. You guys can't hear this? You guys can't hear the sound? Because I could hear it just fine. So I don't know why that. All right, let's do this different. Let's do something different then. Go find that. It's in my recent stuff. Let's do this. Ooh, okay, let's do this. Hello. Seriously? I don't know why that this tax thing doesn't go away. Well, you can hear me, but I'm not understanding why it wasn't, you guys couldn't hear the sound. Maybe it was because, Well, let's just do it like this. Oh, you know what? I think she actually left me, I believe she left me feedback. Holler if you see it. It's in here somewhere. Italy peach. I know she left me feedback, and she actually commented. I went to Japan. She actually commented on that video. Well, do it this way too. Should have come up in my solds. Oh, I hate this. All right. Sorry if I'm making you guys sick. You can just look at all the different Hobei. Mine should be down here shortly. It's right in this area somewhere. There it is, right there. Vintage 60s Hobei Peking green glass and Australian crystal necklace brooch earrings set. This is the set that I got. Now, the only piece of this that was marked was the brooch. And I'm sure I have a better picture. You see that? It's not really great, blown up. HOPE, and it has the, why can't I think of what that's called right now? The C. Is the Internet Archive one free? The Internet Archive, what? Oh, I guess that comes up pretty good in what you're seeing, Hobei. Internet Archive of what, Jan? The Antique Trader, the one that I was showing you guys, is that what you're talking about? That's free. Also, Worth Point has a lot of, and I don't know that it costs you anything because it wasn't signed into my account. Yes. Free to read. Oh, I see what you're saying. Antique Trader is a really good place to go to too. So Hobei is another good item to get. I love this set. It's gorgeous. If I had the bracelet, I probably could have gotten over $1,000 for it. Actually, if I'd have held out, I could have gotten a lot more for this set. I had it listed for $6.99. And I ran a 30% off sale over, when did this sell? Does it say? I ran a 30% off sale, and that's when they bought it. So they got a good deal on it. And it doesn't bother me at all. So there you are. It was probably over Christmas or just before Christmas. And I did a lot of the rhodium plated. I did do my research. And I had that listed in vintage and antique jewelry. Stella. How are you? If I wore jewelry, I probably would have kept it, you guys. But I don't. And the reason that I don't wear jewelry is all of my life I worked on a farm or landscaping I built Freightliner trucks. I worked at the hospital for 3 years when Justin Dren's dad was little tiny, when I was pregnant with Ryan, my youngest. And I worked as a executive secretary for 2 or 3 years. But other than that, most of my life has been spent working in heavy equipment and stuff like that. You just didn't wear jewelry. So I have several pieces that I love, but I have my ears double pierced, but I never really wore earrings because when you picked up the phone, right? Jewelry is something I'm trying to teach Terry as well. So, all I can tell you is when you pick up a piece of jewelry at an estate sale, and if you look on the back and there's something written on it, take a picture of it with your phone and look up that name if you can find that name. You quit after you had your kids for the most part. Yep. That's literally how I learned jewelry. I just started, somebody told me, well, Brett for one, has really helped me a lot because she adores jewelry and she knows a lot. So when I have questions, I ask her, and there's plenty of people, you guys, if you have questions, send me messages. If I can't answer them, I will find somebody that can. I'm pretty good at that. So, I'm going to have to go in and mess with the settings on my camera because I don't remember it being this fuzzy down at the shop, and it's the same camera. And it would focus on that. So it's got to be something in the settings. It's bothering me. Can you tell? So the only way to learn it is to start picking it up. And even around here, I don't pay more than $2, $3, $4. A lot of this stuff I got free. I got this free. I got this free. She thought it was Japan. This is a micro mosaic from Italy, and it's not going to come in good. It says Italy right there, but she had Japan written on the tag. This was at the estate sale that I helped do the clean out a couple weeks ago. But this is a micro mosaic. It's gorgeous. It's about the size of a 50-cent piece, I'd say. Let's do this. Let's look it up. Actually, let's go out of there. Let's go out of there. Let's go out of there. There we go. Here's some that are very similar to what I have. This one right here. So, petite vintage micro mosaic brooch, Millefiori, Venice, Italy. And can you see the little tiny pieces? That's how it's put together. And that's how this one is too. They're just gorgeous. And I got it for free because nobody bought it at the estate sale. There's rings, there's pendants, there's all kinds of pieces. So here's a rare antique one. Here's one on eBay. They want $59.99 for mine. I'm going to probably put mine around $100 with best offer. And then a lot of this stuff that I'm showing you right now came from the same sale. What did I do? I did not pay $15 for this. This is a Navajo pin. It's seed bead, and it was made by a Navajo Native American. These pieces are very sought after and they're worth quite a bit of money. And if you know who the artist is and it's somebody that's well, coveted, just like in any of these other things. Here's another piece that I found this the other day at the bins with Sherry. It's a Native American seed bead bracelet, sterling silver findings. It was in the bottom of a bin. So it weighs like 1 ounce. If you do some research, don't just buy stuff because it's pretty and you think it's cool. Because you may not think this may not be to your taste, but it is to somebody else's. This is a lot of work. If you've ever attempted to do any kind of beading, this piece right here. Okay, I went to 5 estate sales, which is odd for me because usually I just go to one, but I'm getting extremely picky. This is a Sarah Coventry piece, and it just says Sarah. See, this dark blue stone right here was missing. So I went to the rock and gem store down the street, and I paid $1.50 for this blue stone and glued it back in there. $1.50. It's a $40 brooch that I paid nothing for because it didn't sell. But I saw that it said Sarah Coventry. Pay attention to your stuff. Look at things. Another estate sale I went to here about a month ago, they had all of the jewelry bagged, and a couple of gals and I were going through everything, and I saw a couple of pieces I really should have gotten. They were the, what do you call the, somebody's going to spit this out in a second. They're the Alaskan art, and they're etched. And so it's on bone usually, and it's etched in black. Oh, shoot, the name's there. Somebody's going to pop it in there. Scrimshaw. Thank you, Jeremy. Yes, I should have bought them. They only wanted $1 a piece for them. So while I was in the back bedroom, because I went back to look at the furniture because Justin and Dren moved out, right? They had 2 hangers in the closet that had costume jewelry on it, and I found this. Well, this is a 14 karat gold made in Italy bracelet, and it is a curb design. That's the, oh, this is going to irritate me. $2. I said, Brie, this is, 14 karat. She sold it to me for $2. Boom, boom. Do you guys know how you want to guess? Want to take a guess at what this is worth? 14 karat Italy. It's got a marking of an R with wings on you. Not necessarily wings, but the lines that look like wings. This is a couple $1,000s. I will have it authenticated. Maybe. It's got the markings on it, so I don't need to. So it pays to look at everything. And the last bit of advice that I'm going to give you when I'm telling you to look at everything, no more than that, Lulu, because it's from Italy. The same estate sale that I got, I don't remember. This was in the form of a necklace. These are dolphins. And one of them is marked, okay, and it has the box, I think that's what it's called, the box closure, where you open it up and it goes like that. Only one dolphin is marked, and that's all you need to have marked. And it is marked. It's not going to show. Oh, you can see it a little bit there, 925. So these were all hooked together. There was 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 of them. And I said to her, how much do you want for this? It looked like a necklace because they were all hooked together, right? I said, it's broken. It doesn't have all the clasps on it. And she said, $5. And I said, there's sterling silver in here. I said, the back, every so many of these dolphins, can you see it there now? Right. I know you can't see the 925. Said every so many of these dolphins, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, has a 925 mark on it. And she goes, there's a matching bracelet in there somewhere too. So we dug through, we couldn't find it. We'll come to find out somebody else just hooked it to the necklace. So I got the whole thing for $5. When I got out to the car, I sat there and I looked at it a little longer and I realized it wasn't a necklace, it was bracelets. So I took them all apart. And I ended up going, when I went to get that rock, I also bought 12 sterling jump rings for $10.50 and 3 sterling lobster claws. Those were expensive, $22.50, so $7 a piece. So I have about maybe $10 a piece. No, because I only did 1, 2, 3. I have about $5 a piece into all 8 of these sterling bracelets, and they sell for almost $90 a piece. So pay attention to your stuff. Stand there, dig through the jewelry. If they have a big tub of it that has bags and bags and bags, it behooves you to just go through, and anything that you see a marking on, make yourself a little pile. Take your phone out, look at it. And I'm not saying that you necessarily need to look up the maker, but take your phone out, take a picture of it, see if you can find the name. Because I guarantee you, they do not, especially at some of these estate sales. Estella, are you still here? She lives in this area, and she and Terry Mindful, Stella and I are going to meet up here one of these days, do a lot of sales together. I listed one. I got another one that was a little bit different, and I have it listed at the same sale. I paid $5 for this one too. A little bit different design, and I found these. This one is big and small, and it has one mark right there. Sterling silver. If it looks like silver, take your time. I love this one. And and on the other ones, I made some of them bigger than the others because all the ones listed out there are 7.5 inches, which is what these measured at, 7.5 inches. So I bought 12 of those jump rings, and I made 2 of them a little bit bigger because there are people out there. I have a small wrist. A 7.5 fits me. It doesn't fit a lot of people. So I thought to myself, if I'm going to spend, it took me 20 minutes to fix all of them. If I'm going to spend a little bit of time fixing these, I might as well make a couple of them a little bit bigger, right? I have some that are a little bit bigger. There's a couple other people that have those same ones out there. So there's something that came from, always have a small magnet with you, 100%. Should have it on your keychain along with a black light. And I have a little teeny tiny True Leatherman brand thing that's on my keychain. Well, it's sitting in the door of my car right now because I had so many keys on it. It was driving me crazy. But I hooked it on my keys the other day when we went to the bins, and it came in handy because I cut some stuff off. So it's always nice to have all of those things. And, you know, you don't need to take a loop with you. You can use your phone. You can magnify it on your phone. If you can't magnify it enough to see it, magnify it enough to get a clear picture, take the picture and enlarge the picture. Many of the bracelets we find seem to be made for children. We've had to list it as such because people underestimate how thin their wrists are. I wouldn't risk. You can do that as long as you're putting a measurement. I always show a picture of my item next to a ruler. I keep a jewelry loop on me always, but not a magnet. What does a magnet? A magnet, if it's real gold or real silver. Good night, Lulu. Thank you for all your help. Where is my magnet? Must be out in the other room. If it's silver or gold, a magnet will not stick to it. If it's silver plated, a magnet will stick to it. Your loop is your second most used tool. First is the phone. I have a loop right here. I can't even tell you the last time I took it out and used it. I don't even know if the light. Yep, still works. They're a good thing to have, but I don't carry it with me anymore. It's just not embarrassing at all. Oh, for heaven's sakes. The only stupid question is the one that you didn't ask. And if somebody makes you feel bad for asking a question that you didn't know the answer to, then they're not a very good teacher, in my opinion, because that's how we all learn. I bet there's a lot of stuff you could teach me. There are no silly questions. There's only learning. And the only way to learn is to ask a question. You may not find it when you're researching it, but there's somebody out there that can help you with it. And I tell people that all the time. I've said it many times. If I can't find the answer, if I don't know the answer, I will send you in a different direction to somebody that I think will. Oh, yeah, that's true too. That's true too. Very true. You can use them for a lot of things for sure. For sure. All right, you guys, I'm going to leave you with one more bolo for those of you that don't know. You know, I always give you an extra little tidbit. And so for those, wow, there's 37 people in here still. You guys are amazing. For those of you that know, you know. For those of you that don't, you don't. You're going to. How many of you guys know about velvet paintings? I saw these in a picture on an estate sale this last weekend. The Rusty Trunk, Estella. And they're one of my favorite estate sales companies here to go to, the Rusty Trunk. And this particular artist, I've not seen this one. They wanted, these are made in Mexico. Let's put this down. Which one has a better? Almost all of these velvet paintings were made in Mexico, and a really cool one that's a pirate ship. Black velvet naked ladies. So all these ones right here, these two will sell for over $200. I can sell them as a pair, or I can sell them like this. But this artist, which I can't show you right here, is fairly well known, and he did quite a few of these. They wanted $50 a piece for them. Nobody bought them. I probably, he did something on the back of that too. I might have paid $50 for them, but I ended up getting them for half price. Price it high. Price it high is what I say. They're very, let's see. Okay, here we go. Black velvet painting. Here's sets. I think I looked these up when I got there. Hello. $177.60 for this set. So I have this exact one. And does she have the artist's name? Because you can really see it right there. I wonder if she has it in her description. oh my God, these are just the cutest. And they are. So, all of these. Do you see a little girl like mine? I haven't seen any of the little girls, the little Hispanic girls like this one. They're all lighter. Well, maybe no, that's not the girl, that's the boy. So I may price this one higher. That's not the same artist, but this one is. So velvet paintings, and they will almost all have this similar style frame. See how the frame is $94.22 for this one. Just sold a paint by numbers. Nice. So, and we could just do black velvet paintings. So don't just look at it and go, oh, nobody's going to want that, because they do. And Dren stole my pirate ship one. This one's really cute. Panthers, Elvis. Okay. There you go. Here's your ones that will sell for a lot more money. So keep your eyes open. Black velvet painting. I have gotten this. I have one similar to this, only it's wider. It's not, it's more horizontal. Wait a minute. Horizon. Yeah. It's more vertical. This is more horizontal. Let's see if that's a set. I have one that's like this. It's not two ships though. It's just one big ship, and Dren has claimed it. Look at, there's even Snoopy and Charlie Brown. So there you go. Darn, only listed for 22. What'd you find, Kathy? You still have the one you painted in the 70s? There you go. So there you go. There's something that a lot of people may have seen in your life, but you didn't realize that those things are actually quite collectible and worth quite a bit of money. I don't have room in our bathrooms to decorate. I know you don't. Those weren't in the bathroom. They were in a bedroom upstairs. I wouldn't put them in the bathroom anyway. They're velvet. The steam from the shower would ruin them. You could, if that's where you want to put them. I think they'd be cute in a little kid's room personally. But you could put them wherever you want to. Oh, that is true.
What?
I put a fern in. I did. I put a fern. What? Oh, we're just talking about decorating the bathroom. I got a macrame hanger from Jan that her mom made, and it's got orange beads in it, which is another reason why I wanted it. And I hung it in my bathtub over. I hung it in the I put a hook in the ceiling. Let me see here. I'll show you. And sent the picture to Jan the other day. Why am I not finding it? That's stupid. wasn't even a screenshot. Surely I haven't taken that many pictures since I sent that to you, have I? That's really weird. Well, there's more than one way to skin a cat, right? Oh, there. Hanging in the corner of the shower in my bathroom. See if that does better. So there you go. My bathroom is tiny. You walk in and you shut the door and you're in there and that's it. And you know what? I'm okay with that because I cleaned several bathrooms for years and I'm done. Marie, I think your bathroom's just a tad bit bigger. They're both about the same size though. Yeah. Yep. Anyway. All right. Thank you guys for being here. Thank you for your support. Like I said, I hit 4,000 subscribers today. When I hit 5,000, which hopefully will be soon, we'll see. I will be doing a giveaway, several giveaways for all of you lovely people. And yeah, so thanks a lot for coming. I hope I learned you something. We're having a learning experience. I learned some things. And that's what we all need, right? All right. Have a great night. I will see you next week.